Okay, so my presentation will be on how to change your oil and avoid mechanic shop scams. Uh, why do you need an oil change? Well, you need an oil change for like many reasons. One of the main reasons is because since the oil is running around your engine while you're running your car, it might dust and particles might be able to accumulate in there, and it might mess up your engine in the long run. By forming smudge, it messes up your engine. Where to find your car's type of oil? Usually in the glove box compartment inside your car. There's usually a owner's manual, and if you look in the manual, it should tell you where to find the type of oil your car needs, and it also should tell you what's the recommended mile range for an oil change. So yeah, oil change basics. You will need to drain the old oil, replace oil filter, fill with new oil. Clean oil equals healthy and happy car. The supplies needed for the oil change will be a oil filter. In this case, I'm gonna do 5W20 synthetic motor oil, the oil drain pan, a ratchet, and wheel ramps. Executing the oil change. Well, in my opinion, how I do oil changes, I make sure the car is completely off. Handbrake is pulled. Some handbrakes are like next to the brake, so you'll have to like push it in. But most handbrakes are up by the shifting stick, so you'll just have to pull it up. And yeah, make sure the car is in park also. And then yeah, make sure your wheel ramps are somewhere leveled, a hard surface, somewhere where it's firm. And then yeah, you'll need to drive your car up the wheel ramps. Uh, yeah, drive it up the wheel ramps and make sure your car is like up on the wheel ramps. I forgot to put this in the PowerPoint, but it's recommended that you use like a certain type of brick or wood and put them in the back tires just in case a car uh, accidentally like falls back or So after the car is elevated in the air, you have to crawl under the car. You'll have to find a drain plug, and with your ratchet, you will have to loosen the bolt. And when it's loose, make sure your oil pan is right under the bolt. So whenever you pull the bolt, the oil can fall directly into the oil pan and not make a whole mess. I use in my like I personally when I do oil changes, I let the oil drain for about 3 hours, 5 hours, just to get it completely out and make sure no old burnt oil is in there. Replacing the oil filter. Well, after the oil all drains, you have to put the oil bolt back in, the drain plug back in, and tighten it. There's two ways to find the oil filter. You could open your hood and peek at the engine bay, and you will be able to see it. And then there's also another way you can, while you're under there, you can locate it. You can locate it. Once you locate it, you'll want to turn it counterclockwise so it can get loose. And then once it comes off, the oil filter will have oil in it. So all you have to do is just drain it back, pour it in the oil pan, and then, well, now you will need to grab your oil filter. Uh, what I do, I grab the oil filter, I grab some new oil, and I rub it across the top of it, the little rim. I rub it across it, and then you put it into the component, and then you tighten it. Oh, you have to make sure. Well, I do it this way. I make sure before I put the oil filter in, I fill in the oil filter halfway with oil. Just my preference. Replacing old oil with new oil. Um, there is a little meter stick that tells you where the oil should go and the amount of oil. Oil change scams. A lot of mechanic shops do this. They will tell you they put a whole gallon of oil, but in reality it's just half and half, half burnt oil and half new oil, and they keep the other half for it's business. That's how they do business. So yeah, I hope y'all learned something from here.